Dublin when Leo Varadkar and Apo's Indian father, Ashok, moved to Ireland in the 1970s. He chose one of Western Europe and Apo's most socially conservative countries to call home. 38 years later, his youngest child is set to become the once staunchly Catholic country and Apo's first openly gay prime minister, its first of Indian descent and the youngest person ever to hold the office. Varadkar and Apo's election as leader of the governing Fine Gael party on Friday means he will almost certainly succeed Enda Kenny as prime minister in the coming weeks, marking another symbolic moment for Ireland. And if somebody of my age, of my mixed race background, and of all the things that make up my character, can potentially become leader of our country, then I think that sends out a message to every child born today that there is no office in Ireland that they can and Apo's to aspire to and Varadkar told Newstalk Radio this week. The fact the milestone of electing a gay premier is barely mentioned in local media and has taken place, in the words of one former government minister, and without anybody batting an eyelid and shows just how far Ireland has come. Instead, after 6 years of KNNY and Apo's steady stewardship, the focus has been on the stark change of style likely to follow the election of a minister known as a straight talker. Colleagues giddily proclaim that their new leader has the and Apo's XFACTOR and Apo's. Varadkar had not been born when Kenny, 66, was first elected as a member of parliament and comes from the generation hit hardest by Ireland and Apo's economic meltdown. He owned an apartment that fell into negative equity at the turn of the decade. He will also be a year younger than France and Apo's Emmanuel Macron when he attends his first EU leaders summit later this month. But Varadkar has been quick to point out that the favorite to become AUSTRIA and Apo's new prime minister, Sebastian Kurz, is 8 years younger. And he and Apo's a once-in-a-generation politician and said Fine Gael Member of Parliament Jim Daly, echoing the comments of most of his colleagues who have placed high hopes in Varadkar. Such a dramatic change of style could go two ways, analysts warn. Varadkar and Apo's tendency to shoot from the hip can backfire. As a novice minister, he said Ireland would likely need a second bailout 6 months after signing its 2010 EU IMF package. Colleagues were furious and Ireland went on to exit the bailout on schedule in 2013. And when YOU and Apo's Retasich, Prime Minister, UCAN and Apo's T speak as open and freely as when YOU and Apo's a maverick, straight-shooting minister. If he doesn't and Apo's T temper his more colorful contributions that could actually become a liability quite quickly and said Teresa Reedy, a politics lecturer at University College Cork. She said that, although he has held 3 cabinet posts since 2011, Varadkar is relatively inexperienced. With the exception of Kenny, every prime minister since the 1960s either served as finance or foreign minister prior to taking office. Kenny sat in parliament for 35 years before his elevation. Varadkar was first elected in 2007. Seen as being on the right wing of the centrist Fine Gael, Varadkar also upset Ireland and Apo's left with a recent publicity campaign highlighting social welfare fraud. And his management style will be tested by Fine Gael and Apo's weak minority government that is backed by independent lawmakers and facilitated by the main opposition party. As someone who once described himself as not being and a natural PEOPLE and Apo's PERSON and the trained doctor will need a good bedside manner. And we don and Apo's T really know how he will react under pressure, and it is different when YOU and Apo's Retasich and Reedy said. Follow NBC Out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.